it's Mike at You Are The Path. There's a real good technique I got from a friend of mine, and what you do is, if you're lacking in motivation, you ask yourself, when have I ever regretted doing this? So for myself, I love waking up early and going for a walk. So I asked myself, when have I ever regretted getting out of bed, getting some warm clothes on and going for a walk? And the answer is never. I never regret doing that. I always feel good for it. So you could ask yourself, when have I ever regretted eating healthy food? I've just had some water. Past few weeks I've been starting the day with coffee. So I ask myself, when have I ever regretted drinking water in the morning? So I've got up, I've had my water, hydrating my body, giving your brain what it needs to function. And it's so peaceful, no one's awake, and it's just me and my own aura. So we've been talking about the true self and being whole, and that you're already whole. It's a chipping away of everything that you're not, and chipping away all those ideas and values that aren't even ours, that we've picked up from Western society. So what you're about to see is some footage that I shot about 3 months ago. And when I shot this footage, I was in a very good place. I was eating very healthily and my thoughts were quite clear. So it's an instructional video, and I'm talking about awareness. Now, you don't have to meditate to cultivate awareness. Just find the stillness, whether that's waking up early and just sitting quietly with a candle in the background while you just sit and focus on your breathing, whether you sit in the garden and observe a tree. Just sit in silence. You can start with 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and build up from there. So I hope you get something out of the video. Becoming the awareness will help you to be less attached to those thoughts of anxiety, thoughts around your self-image. Just give you a bit of space, freedom, and will ultimately liberate you from those troublesome thoughts that go on in the head. So it's taking out the trash of our own minds. So I'm going to go for a walk now, listen to the birds chirping, and find that inner stillness. Catch you later. Peace.
Okay, so first video, how does meditation help you to get to the core of what you are? How does it even begin to do that? Well, if you look at what you are, or what we think we are, on a superficial level, what we think we are, we associate with our job, our career, how we look, our hairstyle that day, um, where we live. We build an identity around these things. Now, if you've read anything to do with meditation or yoga or anything like that, maybe Buddhist thought, you'll most probably have come across the idea that we aren't the thought, we're the one having the thought. So we're when you get to the essence of what we are, we're the awareness of the thought, and we are awareness itself. And when you in deep meditation, you become aware of awareness itself. And when you get to that level, words don't do a very good job of explaining the experience. If you've ever read Buddhist texts, you'll relate to that. I used to read Buddhist texts a long time ago, 10 years ago. I was only 21. I started reading it, and I was reading pages and pages of this stuff, and I just didn't have a clue what they were talking about. One of the only books I've come across that comes close, well, does more than come close, it really explains it really well, is Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. If you're really wanting to get into meditation and be in the now, buy that book. I did a video on YouTube lately about it. Life changing. So we are awareness itself, and I drew this circle. So the circle represents awareness, and within that you have experience, the experience of sound, your name, the emotions in your body, your job, thoughts going in, and what is reality? Reality is experience. Okay, I wanted to interrupt the video because what I didn't mention was the whole idea of this whole thing, meditation, is transcendence. So think about this. If you become the awareness itself, then anything within the awareness no longer has a pull on you. So you no longer are attached to what happens within the awareness. So for example, you're no longer attached to what you look like, because you know that you aren't what you look like. You're the one observing what you look like and then having the experience of that. And a voice comes in and says either, oh, I look really good today, or a thought might go in, oh, I don't look too great today. And then what we do is we buy in to that thought, and each thought creates a certain chemistry within the body, secretes certain protein peptides in the brain, secreted from the hypothalamus gland, I think I got that right, and it creates what we call a mood. And then if that's the belief we have about that thought, then in that morning, if we think we look bad, we have a mood that morning, and that affects our behavior, it affects the choices that we make. So that's why meditation is so profound, because when you cultivate that awareness, you have transcendence. So you transcend the drama. You won't have drama in your life. And that's not to say that you lose who you are. You'll still have your own individual personality. You're not going to change for the worst. You're just not going to have your buttons pressed, and people won't be able to pull on your strings. You'll be a transcendent being, and you're free to choose what you want to do. You don't have any attachments. You can then choose beliefs that empower you, beliefs that serve you, and you'll be able to release and let go of the limiting beliefs and definitions that don't serve you. And so that's the first video on how meditation can be used to get to the core of what you are, the essence of what you are. It's like when you think you've got a handle on it and you think you understand it, you find another layer. It just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. So catch us on the next video.